chapters 43 through 48 of the book of Ezekiel, from the Young's Literal Translation of the Bible. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information, or to volunteer, visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Mark Penfold. Chapters 43 through 48 of Ezekiel, from the Young's Literal Translation. Chapter 43. And he causeth me to go to the gate that is looking eastward. And lo, the honor of the God of Israel hath come from the way of the east, and his voice is as the noise of many waters, and the earth hath shone from his honor. And according to the appearance is the appearance that I saw, as the appearance that I saw in my coming in to destroy this city. And the appearances are as the appearance that I saw at the river Chebar, and I fall on my face. And the honor of Jehovah hath come in unto the house, the way of the gate whose face is eastward. And take me up doth the Spirit, and bringeth me in unto the inner court. And lo, the honor of Jehovah hath filled the house. And I hear one speaking unto me from the house, and a man hath been standing near me. And he saith unto me, Son of man, the place of my throne, and the place of the soles of my feet, where I dwell in the midst of the sons of Israel to the age, defile no more do the house of Israel my holy name, they and their kings by their whoredom, and by the carcasses of their kings, their high places. In their putting their threshold with my threshold, and their doorpost near my doorpost, and the wall between me and them. And they have defiled my holy name by their abominations that they have done, and I consume them in mine anger. Now do they put far off their whoredom, and the carcasses of their kings from me, and I have dwelt in their midst to the age. Thou, son of man, shew the house of Israel the house, and they are ashamed of their iniquities, and they have measured the measurement. And since they have been ashamed of all that they have done, the form of the house, and its measurement, and its outlets, and its inlets, and all its forms, and all its statutes, even all its forms, and all its laws cause them to know, and write it before their eyes, and they observe all its forms, and all its statutes, and have done them. This is a law of the house. On the top of the mountain, all its border all round about is most holy. Lo, this is a law of the house. And these are measures of the altar by cubits. The cubit is a cubit and a handbreadth, and the center is a cubit, and a cubit the breadth. And its border on its edge round about is one span, and this is the upper part of the altar. And from the center of the ground unto the lower border is 2 cubits, and the breadth 1 cubit. And from the lesser border unto the greater border 4 cubits, and the breadth a cubit. And the altar is 4 cubits, and from the altar and upward are 4 horns. And the altar is 12 long by 12 broad, square in its 4 squares. And the border is 14 long by 14 broad at its 4 squares. And the border round about it is half a cubit, and the center to it is a cubit round about. And its steps are looking eastward. And he saith unto me, Son of man, thus said the Lord Jehovah, these are statutes of the altar in the day of its being made, to cause burnt offering to go up on it, and to sprinkle on it blood. And thou hast given unto the priests, the Levites, who are of the seed of Zadok, who are near unto me, an affirmation of the Lord Jehovah, to serve me, a calf from the herd, for a sin offering. And thou hast taken of its blood, and hast put it on its 4 horns, and on the 4 corners of its border, and on the border round about, and hast cleansed it, and purified it. And thou hast taken the bullock of the sin offering, and hast burnt it in the appointed place of the house at the outside of the sanctuary. And on the 2nd day thou dost bring near a kid of the goats, a perfect one, for a sin offering, and they have cleansed the altar as they cleansed it for the bullock. In thy finishing cleansing thou dost bring near a calf, a son of the herd, a perfect one, and a ram out of the flock, a perfect one. And thou hast brought them near before Jehovah, and the priests have cast upon them salt, and have caused them to go up, a burnt offering to Jehovah. 7 days thou dost prepare a goat for a sin offering daily, and a bullock, a son of the herd, and a ram out of the flock, perfect ones do they prepare. 7 days they purify the altar, and have cleansed it, and filled their hand. And the days are completed. And it hath come to pass on the 8th day, and henceforth the priests prepare on the altar your burnt offerings and your peace offerings. And I have accepted you. An affirmation of the Lord Jehovah. Chapter 44. And he causeth me to turn back the way of the gate of the outer sanctuary that is looking eastward, and it is shut. And Jehovah saith unto me, This gate is shut, it is not opened, and none doth go in by it, for Jehovah God of Israel hath come in by it, and it hath been shut. The prince, who is prince, he sitteth by it to eat bread before Jehovah. By the way of the porch of the gate he cometh in, and by its way he goeth out. And he bringeth me in the way of the north gate unto the front of the house. And I look, and lo, filled hath the honor of Jehovah, the house of Jehovah, and I fall on my face. And Jehovah saith unto me, Son of man, set thy heart, and see with thine eyes, and with thine ears hear all that I am speaking with thee, of all the statutes of the house of Jehovah, and of all its laws. And thou hast set thy heart to the entrance of the house, with all the outlets of the sanctuary, and hast said unto the rebellious, unto the house of Israel, Thus said the Lord Jehovah, Enough to you of all your abominations, O house of Israel, in your bringing in sons of a stranger, uncircumcised of heart and uncircumcised of flesh, to be in my sanctuary, to pollute it, even my house, in your bringing near my bread, fat and blood. And they break my covenant by all your abominations. And ye have not kept the charge of my holy things, and ye set them for keepers of my charge in my sanctuary for you. Thus said the Lord Jehovah, No son of a stranger, uncircumcised of heart and uncircumcised of flesh, cometh in unto my sanctuary, even any son of a stranger who is in the midst of the sons of Israel. But the Levites who have gone far off from me in the wandering of Israel, when they went astray from me after their idols, and they have borne their iniquity. And they have been in my sanctuary ministrants, overseers at the gates of the house, and ministrants at the house. They slay the burnt offering and the sacrifice for the people, and they stand before them to serve them, because that they serve them before their idols, and have been to the house of Israel for a stumbling block of iniquity. Therefore I have lifted up my hand against them, an affirmation of the Lord Jehovah, and they have borne their iniquity. And they draw not nigh unto me to act as my priest, and to draw nigh unto any of my holy things, unto the Holy of Holies. And they have borne their shame and their abominations that they have done. And I made them keepers of the charge of the house, for all its service, and for all that is done in it. And the priests, the Levites, sons of Zadok, who have kept the charge of my sanctuary in the wandering of the sons of Israel from off me, they draw near unto me to serve me, and have stood before me to bring near to me fat and blood, an affirmation of the Lord Jehovah. They come in unto my sanctuary, and they draw near unto my table to serve me, and they have kept my charge. And it hath come to pass in their going in unto the gates of the inner court, linen garments they put on, and no wool cometh up on them in their ministering in the gates of the inner court and within. Linen bonnets are on their heads, and linen trousers are on their loins. They are not restrained with sweat. And in their going forth unto the outer court unto the people, they strip off their garments in which they are ministering, and have placed them in the holy chambers, and have put on other garments, and they do not sanctify the people in their own garments. And their head they do not shave, and the lock they do not send forth. They certainly poll their heads. And no priest doth drink wine in their coming in unto the inner court, and a widow and divorced woman they do not take to them for wives, but virgins of the seed of the house of Israel, and the widow who is widow of a priest do they take. And my people they direct between holy and common, and between unclean and clean they cause them to discern. And concerning controversy they stand up for judgment. With my judgments they judge it. And my law and my statutes in all my appointed places they keep, and my Sabbaths they sanctify. And unto any dead man they come not for uncleanness, but for father, and for mother, and for son, and for daughter, for brother, for sister who hath not been to a man, they defile themselves. And after his cleansing 7 days they number to him, And in the day of his coming in unto the sanctuary, unto the inner court to minister in the sanctuary, he bringeth near his sin offering, an affirmation of the Lord Jehovah. And it hath been to them for an inheritance. I am their inheritance. And a possession ye do not give to them in Israel. I am their possession. The present and the sin offering and the guilt offering they do eat, and every devoted thing in Israel is theirs. And the first of all the firstfruits of all, and every heave offering of all your heave offerings are the priest's. And the first of your dough ye give to the priest, to cause a blessing to rest on thy house. Any carcass and torn thing of the fowl and of the beasts, the priests do not eat. Chapter 45. And in your causing the land to fall in inheritance, ye lift up a heave offering to Jehovah, a holy portion of the land. The length 25,000 is the length, and the breadth 10,000. It is holy in all its border round about. There is of this for the sanctuary 500 by 500 square round about, and 50 cubits of suburb is to it round about. And by this measure thou dost measure. The length is 25,000, and the breadth 10,000. And in it is the sanctuary, the holy of holies. The holy portion of the land it is, for priests, ministrants of the sanctuary it is, who are drawing near to serve Jehovah, and it hath been to them a place for houses, and a holy place for a sanctuary. And of the 25,000 of length, and of the 10,000 of breadth, there is to the Levites, ministrants of the house, for them, for a possession, 20 chambers. And of the possession of the city ye give 5,000 of breadth, and of length 25,000, over against the heave offering of the holy portion. To all the house of Israel it is. As to the prince, on this side and on that side, of the heave offering of the holy place, and of the possession of the city, at the front of the heave offering of the holy place, and at the front of the possession of the city, from the west corner westward, and from the east corner eastward. And the length is over against one of the portions from the west border unto the east border. Of the land there is to him for a possession in Israel, and my princes do not oppress any more my people, and the land they give to the house of Israel, according to their tribes. Thus said the Lord Jehovah, enough to you, princes of Israel. Violence and spoil turn aside, and judgment and righteousness do. Lift up your exactions from off my people, an affirmation of the Lord Jehovah. Just balances and a just ephah and a just bath ye have. The ephah and the bath is of one measure, for the bath to bear 1/10 of the homer, and the ephah 1/10 of the homer. According to the homer is its measurement. And the shekel is 20 gerah, 20 shekels, 25 shekels, 15 shekels is your manna. This is the heave offering that ye lift up, a 1/6 part of the ephah of a homer of wheat. Also ye have given a 1/6 part of the ephah of a homer of barley. And the portion of oil, the bath of oil, a 10th part of the bath out of the core, a homer of 10 baths, for 10 baths are a homer. And 1 lamb out of the flock, out of 200, out of the watered country of Israel, for a present, and for a burnt offering, and for peace offerings, to make atonement by them, an affirmation of the Lord Jehovah. All the people of the land are at this heave offering for the prince in Israel. And on the prince are the burnt offerings, and the present, and the libation, in feasts, and in new moons, and in Sabbaths, in all appointed times of the house of Israel. He doth make the sin offering, and the present, and the burnt offering, and the peace offerings, to make atonement for the house of Israel. Thus said the Lord Jehovah, in the 1st month, in the 1st of the month, thou dost take a bullock, a son of the herd, a perfect one, and hast cleansed the sanctuary. And the priest hath taken of the blood of the sin offering, and hath put on the doorpost of the house, and on the 4 corners of the border of the altar, and on the post of the gate of the inner court. And so thou dost do on the 7th of the month, because of each erring one, and because of the simple one, and ye have purified the house. In the 1st month, in the 14th day of the month, ye have the Passover, a feast of 7 days, unleavened food is eaten. And the prince hath prepared on that day for himself, and for all the people of the land, a bullock, a sin offering. And the 7 days of the feast he prepareth a burnt offering to Jehovah, 7 bullocks and 7 rams, perfect ones, daily 7 days, and a sin offering, a kid of the goats, daily. And a present of an ephah for a bullock, and an ephah for a ram he doth prepare, and of oil a hin for an ephah. In the 7th month, in the 15th day of the month, in the feast, he doth according to these things 7 days, as the sin offering, so the burnt offering, and as the present, so also the oil. Chapter 46. Thus said the Lord Jehovah, the gate of the inner court that is looking eastward is shut the 6 days of work, and on the day of rest it is opened, and in the day of the new moon it is opened. And come in hath the prince the way of the porch of the gate at the outside, and he hath stood by the post of the gate. And the priests have made his burnt offering, and his peace offerings, and he hath bowed himself by the opening of the gate, and hath gone forth, and the gate is not shut till the evening. And bowed themselves have the people of the land at the opening of that gate, on Sabbaths and on new moons before Jehovah. And the burnt offering that the prince bringeth near to Jehovah on the day of rest is 6 lambs, perfect ones, and a ram, a perfect one. And the present is an ephah for a ram, and for the lambs a present, the gift of his hand, and of oil a hin for an ephah. And on the day of the new moon a bullock, a son of the herd, a perfect one, and 6 lambs and a ram, they are perfect. And with an ephah for a bullock and an ephah for a ram he prepareth a present, and for the lambs as his hand attaineth, and of oil a hin for an ephah. And in the coming in of the prince, the way of the porch of the gate he cometh in, and by its way he goeth out. And in the coming in of the people of the land before Jehovah at appointed times, he who hath come in the way of the north gate to bow himself goeth out the way of the south gate, and he who hath come in the way of the south gate goeth out by the way of the north gate. He doth not turn back the way of the gate by which he came in, but over against it he goeth out. And the prince in their midst in their coming in cometh in, and in their going out he goeth out. And in feasts and in appointed times the present is an ephah for a bullock, and an ephah for a ram, and for lambs the gift of his hand, and of oil a hin for an ephah. And when the prince maketh a freewill burnt offering, or freewill peace offerings to Jehovah, then he hath opened for himself the gate that is looking eastward, and he hath made his burnt offering and his peace offerings as he doth in the day of rest. And he hath gone out, and he hath shut the gate after his going out. And a lamb, son of a year, a perfect one, thou dost make a burnt offering daily to Jehovah, morning by morning thou dost make it. And a present thou dost make for it morning by morning, a 6th part of the ephah, and of oil a 3rd part of the hin, to temper with the fine flour, a present to Jehovah, by a statute age during, continually. And prepare ye the lamb, and the present, and the oil, morning by morning, a continual burnt offering. Thus said the Lord Jehovah, when the prince giveth a gift to any of his sons, his inheritance it is. To his sons it is, their possession it is by inheritance. And when he giveth a gift out of his inheritance to one of his servants, then it hath been to him till the year of freedom, and it hath turned back to the prince, only the inheritance of his sons is theirs. And the prince doth not take of the inheritance of the people to oppress them, out of their possession, out of his own possession he doth cause his sons to inherit, so that my people are not scattered, each from his possession. And he bringeth me in through the entrance that is by the side of the gate, unto the holy chambers, unto the priests that are looking northward, and lo, there is a place in their 2 sides westward. And he saith unto me, This is the place where the priests do boil the guilt offering and the sin offering, where they bake the present, so as not to bring it out unto the outer court, to sanctify the people. And he bringeth me out unto the outer court, and causeth me to pass over unto the 4 corners of the court. And lo, a court in a corner of the court, a court in a corner of the corner. In the 4 corners of the court are perfume courts, 40 long and 30 broad. 1 measure is to the 4 corners. And a row is round about in them, round about to them 4, and made with boilers under the rows round about. And he saith unto me, These are the houses of those boiling, where the ministrants of the house boil the sacrifice of the people. Chapter 47. And he causeth me to turn back unto the opening of the house, and lo, water is coming forth from under the threshold of the house eastward, for the front of the house is eastward. And the water is coming down from beneath, from the right side of the house, from the south of the altar. And he causeth me to go out of the way of the gate northward, and causeth me to turn round the way without, unto the gate that is without, the way that is looking eastward. And lo, water is coming forth from the right side, in the going out of the man eastward, and a line in his hand. Then he measureth 1,000 by the cubit, and he causeth me to pass over into water, water to the ankles. And he measureth 1,000, and causeth me to pass over into water, water to the knees. And he measureth 1,000, and causeth me to pass over, water to the loins. And he measureth 1,000, a stream that I am not able to pass over, for risen hath the waters, waters to swim in, a stream that is not passed over. And he saith unto me, Hast thou seen, son of man? And he leadeth me, and bringeth me back unto the edge of the stream. In my turning back then, lo, at the edge of the stream are very many trees, on this side and on that side. And he saith unto me, These waters are going forth unto the east circuit, and have gone down unto the desert, and have entered the sea. Unto the sea they are brought forth, and the waters have been healed. And it hath come to pass, every living creature that teemeth, whithersoever the streams come, doth live. And there hath been great abundance of fish, for these waters have come thither, and they are healed. And everything whither the stream cometh hath lived. And it hath come to pass, fishers do stand by it, from En-gedi even unto En-eglaim. A spreading place of nets they are. According to their own kind is their fish, as the fish of the great sea, very many. Its miry and its marshy places, they are not healed. To salt they have been given up. And by the stream there cometh up on its edge, on this side and on that side, every kind of fruit tree whose leaf fadeth not, and not consumed is its fruit. According to its months it yieldeth first fruits, because its waters from the sanctuary are coming forth, and its fruits hath been for food, and its leaf for medicine. Thus said the Lord Jehovah, This is the border whereby ye inherit the land, according to the 12 tribes of Israel. Joseph hath portions, and ye have inherited it, one as well as another, in that I have lifted up my hand to give it to your fathers, and this land hath fallen to you in inheritance. And this is the border of the land at the north quarter, from the great sea, the way of Hethlon, at the coming in to Zedad. Hamath, Berotha, Sibraim, that is between the border of Damascus and the border of Hamath. Hazar Hatikon, that is at the coast of Havron. And the border from the sea hath been Hazar Enan, the border of Damascus, and Zaphon at the north, and the border of Hamath. And this is the north quarter. And the east quarter is from between Havron and Damascus and Gilead and the land of Israel to the Jordan. From the border over against the eastern sea ye measure, and this is the east quarter. And the south quarter southward is from Tamar unto the waters of Merabath Kadesh, the stream unto the great sea, and this is the south quarter southward. And the west quarter is the great sea, from the border till over against the coming into Hamath. This is the west quarter. And ye have divided this land to you, according to the tribes of Israel. And it hath come to pass, ye separate it for an inheritance to yourselves, and to the sojourners who are sojourning in your midst, who have begotten sons in your midst. And they have been to you as native, with the sons of Israel. With you they are separated for an inheritance in the midst of the tribes of Israel. And it hath come to pass in the tribe with which the sojourner sojourneth, there ye give his inheritance, an affirmation of the Lord Jehovah. Chapter 48. And these are the names of the tribes. From the north end unto the side of the way of Hethlon, at the coming into Hamath, Hazar Enan, the border of Damascus northward, unto the side of Hamath, and they have been his, side east and west, Dan 1. And by the border of Dan, from the east side unto the west side, Asher 1. And by the border of Asher, from the east side even unto the west side, Naphtali 1. And by the border of Naphtali, from the east side unto the west side, Manasseh 1. And by the border of Manasseh, from the east side unto the west side, Ephraim 1. And by the border of Ephraim, from the east side even unto the west side, Reuben 1. And by the border of Reuben from the east side unto the west side, Judah 1. And by the border of Judah from the east side unto the west side is the heave offering that ye lift up, 25,000 broad and long, as one of the parts, from the east side unto the west side, and the sanctuary hath been in its midst. The heave offering that ye lift up to Jehovah is 25,000 long, and broad 10,000. And of these is the holy heave offering for the priests, northward 25,000, and westward in breadth 10,000, and eastward in breadth 10,000, and southward in length 25,000. And the sanctuary of Jehovah hath been in its midst. For the priests who are sanctified of the sons of Zadok, who have kept my charge, who erred not in the erring of the sons of Israel, as the Levites erred, even the heave offering hath been to them, out of the heave offering of the land, most holy, by the border of the Levites. And to the Levites over against the border of the priests are 25,000 in length, and in breadth 10,000. All the length is 25,000, and the breadth 10,000. And they do not sell of it, nor exchange, nor cause to pass away the first fruit of the land, for it is holy to Jehovah. And the 5,000 that is left in the breadth on the front of the 25,000 is common, for the city, for dwelling, and for suburb, and the city hath been in its midst. And these are its measures: the north side 504,000, and the south side 504,000, and on the east side 504,000, and the west side 504,000. And the suburb to the city hath been northward 50 and 200, and southward 50 and 200, and eastward 50 and 200, and westward 50 and 200. And the residue in length over against the heave offering of the holy portion is 10,000 eastward, and 10,000 westward. And it hath been over against the heave offering of the holy portion, and its increase hath been for food to the servants of the city. Even to him who is serving the city, they serve it out of all the tribes of Israel. All the heave offering is 25,000 by 25,000. Square do ye lift up the heave offering of the holy portion with the possession of the city. And the residue is for the prince, on this side and on that side of the heave offering of the holy portion, and of the possession of the city, on the front of the 25,000 of the heave offering unto the east border, and westward, on the front of the 25,000 on the west border, over against the portions of the prince. And the heave offering of the holy portion, and the sanctuary of the house, hath been in its midst. And from the possession of the Levites, from the possession of the city, in the midst of that which is to the prince, between the border of Judah and the border of Benjamin, there is to the prince. As to the rest of the tribes, from the east side unto the west side, Benjamin 1. And by the border of Benjamin, from the east side unto the west side, Simeon 1. And by the border of Simeon, from the east side unto the west side, Issachar 1. And by the border of Issachar, from the east side unto the west side, Zebulun 1. And by the border of Zebulun, from the east side unto the west side, Gad 1. And by the border of Gad, at the south side southward, the border hath been from Tamar to the waters of Meraboth Kadesh, the stream by the great sea. This is the land that ye separate by inheritance to the tribes of Israel, and these are their portions, an affirmation of the Lord Jehovah. And these are the outgoings of the city on the north side, 504,000 measures. And the gates of the city are according to the names of the tribes of Israel: 3 gates northward, the gate of Reuben 1, the gate of Judah 1, the gate of Levi 1. And on the east side 504,000, and 3 gates: the gate of Joseph 1, the gate of Benjamin 1, the gate of Dan 1. And the south side 504,000 measures, and 3 gates: the gate of Simeon 1, the gate of Issachar 1, the gate of Zebulun 1. The west side 504,000, their gates 3, the gate of Gad 1, the gate of Asher 1, the gate of Naphtali 1. Round about is 18,000, and the renown of the city is from the day. Jehovah is there. The end of chapters 43 through 48, and the end of the book of Ezekiel from the Young's Literal Translation of the Bible. Recording by Mark Penfold. I am their inheritance,